Apollo Quiboloy is a powerful and an influential man in the Philippines. He is a known televangelist and he has millions of followers under his church, which is named Kingdom of Jesus Christ. It is based in the southern Philippines, particularly in Davao City, where is also the turf of former President Rodrigo Duterte. So he has millions of followers in the Philippines and around the world. And I think they have a base in the United States also, not just in the Philippines, but also in the United States.
Well, what are the accusations he's facing in the Philippines and also in the United States?
Actually, it's the United States, which is it's the first country which initiated the investigation against Quiboloy. As early as 2018, 2021, the United States started to investigate Quiboloy because of alleged sexual trafficking of women and children. There are allegations against him that he would sleep with members or women or members of his church, and he will force them to sleep with him, citing that if they won't allow him, they will be subjected to eternal damnation. And his church is also being investigated and was also investigated by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and by the United States because of alleged trafficking, because Quiboloy and his church would allegedly fly church members from the Philippines to the United States to ask for donation, to work for the church, and so that the church will have enough funds to fund their buildings, their infrastructure, their systems and operations in the Philippines and in the United States. Now, in the Philippines, he faces at least 3 cases pending in two different courts in Metro Manila. He faces cases for sexual abuse and child abuse pending in a court in Quezon City in Metro Manila also. And he also faces human trafficking, which is pending in a Pasig court, which is also located in Metro Manila. So sexual and child abuse cases of Quiboloy are bailable offenses. It's not considered as a grave offense in the Philippines, but the human trafficking case is a non-bailable offense. And currently, because of the cases that he faces, Quiboloy is currently detained at the Philippine National Police. He's currently at the custody of the National Police of the Philippines.
Well, how long has it taken to track him down and take him into custody? What has the police operation involved?
Yeah, very interesting question, because as early as 2018, as I've said, the United States started to investigate Quiboloy, and yet there was no parallel investigation in the Philippines, given the fact that Quiboloy is connected with the Duterte administration. He is former President Rodrigo Duterte's spiritual advisor. He has close ties with the Duterte family. In fact, he has over 30 years of friendship with the former president, and he actually endorsed the president's daughter, our current vice president, during the elections. And it's actually a political. This is not just a issue of human rights or justice or police operations in the Philippines, but also political. Because if we're going to recall the cases of child abuse and sexual abuse complaints, as well as the human trafficking complaint, were filed in 2020. That was during the time of former President Rodrigo Duterte at the prosecutor's office. But the prosecutor's office of Davao City junked and dismissed the complaints. But then again, under the time of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the current president, the complaints were revived through a petition for review initiated by none other than the Department of Justice under Marcos. And just this year, the petition was granted, the cases were revived, and the cases were filed into 2 different courts, which were the basis for the arrest warrants against Quiboloy. All this happened today, just this year. This year is very significant in Philippine politics, because this is the year that the Dutertes and Marcoses are no longer allies. They drifted away from each other after Duterte attacked Marcos. And after that, the Marcos administration went into full attack mode against the Duterte administration. They started cracking down against the Duterte family, including their allies. And among the biggest allies, or the high-profile allies of the Duterte administration, Quiboloy is the biggest, because he is a high-profile televangelist in the Philippines, and he's known for his millions of followers, just like what I've said a while ago.
Well, now that he is in custody, what will happen next? Do you think he'll be extradited to the US at some point to face the charges there?
Yeah. If we're going to go with the timeline, the United States was actually the first one who that issued an arrest warrant against Quiboloy. But as far as the Philippines is concerned, for now, according to Philippine authorities, according to President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Justice Secretary Boying Remulla of the Philippine government, Apollo Quiboloy won't be extradited yet to the United States because according to our local officials, Quiboloy has to face his cases first in the Philippines, and after that, after he faced his cases, then the discussion and negotiations on extradition would follow. So for the meantime, he will not be extradited or transported to the United States.
Well, it seems like his case has garnered a lot of interest in the Philippines. Jairo Bolledo, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.